All right, you guys know what time it is. I am so excited for tonight's show. I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood. You are in the locker room and you are in for a very special treat. Tonight, I got one of my own babies coming into the locker room to share some game with you. He's hardworking. He's got a bright future, you guys, and I cannot wait to get into tonight's show with tonight's guest. But first and foremost, let me pass it to my boy that holds me down every single Thursday. That's my boy from the Lou, none other than the great Q, the Guru. What's going on, Guru?
What's going on, Coach? Boy, we saw a heck of a game, boy. That was a
Yes.
good game. That was one of the best Super Bowls I've seen in recent memory, going into OT. But San Francisco had their chances, man. We'll touch on that in a minute, but they had their chances though. They did.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And that is something that I know you wanted to bring up. I'm going to ad lib a little bit, but let me introduce my guest first. And this is none other, you guys, than someone, like I said, that's very own. He's our very own in the Before You Go Pro program. As many of you guys know, we're not just content. We're not just a podcast. We actually work with athletes across the country. This is a Bay Area native right now. He is a Cal Berkeley wide receiver. Went to the University of Colorado originally. We'll get into that. But that is none other than the great Cole Boscia. How's it going, superstar?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me, Coach Wood. I really appreciate you. I'm super stoked to talk, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, man, let's get into it. And I know you got a lot to share, you guys. Once again, this is someone that was ripping it up in the Bay Area, you guys, not just football, but also a great dual sport athlete, a track athlete. He was fortunate enough to go to my alma mater, the University of Colorado, where he did a phenomenal job for 2 years. After that, made a business decision this offseason and is now committed to the University of Cal Berkeley. And I'm so excited to have you on, Cole. So let's get into it, man. I see some people already coming into the comment section. The great Jimmy Rucker says Mike Shanahan should be on the house. Uh-oh, Jimmy. Uh-oh.
Jimmy ready.
Mad, you guys. And then
Jimmy wrote that down on Monday. Like, let me see.
And then we've got one of our very own, our son, Rocco, George. Thank you for joining us, George. Rocco is a teammate of Cole, so thank you for checking out the show and love the Schramm family there. So let's talk about it, Q, real quick. I didn't preface Cole, but you wanted to bring it up. You called me right before the show and you said, let's talk a little Super Bowl. I want to give my opinion on what happened. So talk to me, Q. What do you think happened with the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, I was looking at the game, and like I said, San Francisco, they obviously, if you haven't heard, let go of their defensive coordinator. But the one thing I will say, and I'm not a big Mahomes fan. I'm not. He's talented. I feel like a bit arrogant, but he's a good player. But the adversity.
He's a good player. He got 3 Super Bowls in 2 years.
He's a good player. He's one of the best quarterbacks we've seen in this particular era. But what I like about him and what transfers to life in regards to these young athletes that we're speaking to week, he always finds a way. He always finds a way. I don't give a damn what, man. It's like he finds a way to win. But like I said, it was one of those things where San Francisco, I kept looking and I'm like, well, man, they have 2 of the best bookend DNs in the league, but they weren't making any adjustments, which of course translates to life too, folks, is you got to always make some type of audible or adjustment calls for sure, youngins, because trust and believe life is going to throw you a curveball. So you always got to make adjustments, if you want to win in what we call life. But again, it was a great game, a lot of plays that could have been made, a lot of plays that were made, and congrats to the Chiefs on the win.
Talk to me, Cole. You're a Bay Area native. What was your opinion as a football player watching the Super Bowl?
I think Coach Q kind of talked about it. When it came down to it, the Chiefs performed. They took advantage of their opportunities. I mean, it was a great game. Through and through till overtime. And when the Chiefs got their opportunity to score, they performed in the red zone, which that's the most important part, and where the Niners obviously didn't.
There you go. There you go. So, hey, obviously, a lot of you guys, depending on what side of the fence you were on, were happy or mad, but everybody could say it was a great Super Bowl. So, thank you for sharing that. Let's get into tonight's show, you guys. Once again, we've got the great Cole Boscia, and he is coming in to share some game, talk about his journey, and I'm excited to get into it. So, let's start, Cole, with PWO. PWO, man, preferred walk-on to the University of Colorado. We have some athletes that are currently considering that option. What would you say as somebody that has been that route and done phenomenal? What would you say as far as evaluating a PWO opportunity? What's some advice?
Yeah, I would say so. Two things. First of all, you got to self-evaluate yourself. And kind of have an understanding, okay, where do I match up with these other receivers at the school I want to go to, or the receivers in the receiver room? Because if you're telling yourself some lies, like you're a lot better than you actually are, and you go there, you're probably not going to play a lot or see the field much. But if you're being real with yourself and you're like, hey man, I could compete with these cats. Let's do it. Like, by all means, go for it. Because end of the day, ball is ball. If you could play, you're going to play.
Definitely.
And secondly, I would say gearing yourself up, not just physically for the workouts, but like mentally and emotionally as well. Because, coming in as a PWO, especially off rip at the beginning, like different schools treat it differently, but you are treated a little differently as a preferred walk-on, sometimes by teammates, coaches. You're not going to get as many reps initially. So, just making sure you're in the right mindset and stuff when you're going in, like focusing on the right things. That's everything when you're out there.
Okay. That's big right there. And some of you guys out there are considering, whether you're watching live or recorded, considering that option. So thank you for sharing that and being honest. We've got some superstars checking in. The great Sadike Green Jr. What's going on, playmaker? He says, what's good, coach? He's checking in. And then, of course, we got now Rocco coming in, and he says, PWO Demon. Yes, indeed. And Rocco has decided to PWO to Colorado State. He's going to be ripping it up there. So thank you guys for sharing that and popping in with us. Let's go on to our next topic, you guys. And if you're joining us for the first time, all of the topics for tonight's show, all of the content is right there on the bottom ticker. So roll with us on this. But you just left the University of Colorado, and obviously you got off to a great start there. You went through something that was a phenomenon. I mean, really, we haven't seen anything like that. A whole country kind of caught by storm by a coach and a team. You guys were a Cinderella story for the first half of the year. So I wanted to ask you, Cole, because we were watching it from afar. Obviously, I had a little bit more in, since that's my alma mater, but you were in it. You were in it week after week. You were in that room when he stepped in as his first day. So as you think back on that opportunity and experience, what are maybe some of the key takeaways that you took away from that?
Yeah, from Coach Prime himself, he would, every morning he would always hit us with something different quote or a video. But something that always stuck with me was he would always say, like, he'd be like, now is the time for action. And he'd repeat that like several times over and over. Now is the time for action. And, a lot of the times we could just get in the same routine of procrastinating or just not wanting to get our work done. And he'd say, just right now, let's do it. You haven't been going 100% at practice right now. Let's do it. Let's go 100%. Like everything. And that goes with everything in life. Like you're not going to the gym, not doing what you need to get done with your job. Like right now is the time for action. If you're not doing it right now, like, when are you going to do it? that's probably the biggest thing I try to stick with from Coach Prime himself. From the general like overall experience, just being in that receiver room with those superstars and stuff, I learned to kind of become a process orientated guy rather than an outcome. And what I mean by that is like focusing on the work itself, like the work, not the outcome, not if I'm going to get a ton of snaps or start. It's hey, it's like 6:30 in the morning on Tuesday. My body's really sore. I got to go practice. Let me focus on that, on making sure I'm running the right route, the right depth. I'm converting it if I have to, like on the actual work itself. Getting my body right in the weight room, all those things. So being a process oriented guy. And then lastly, I'm a huge fan of our offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, who is the head coach
San Diego State.
He was a phenomenal coach. And one thing he always reminded us was he would ask us like every morning was like, how are you spending your time and energy? And what is the depth and direction of it? And what he meant by that was just like, what are you doing throughout the day? Like, are you spending it, kind of bettering yourself? Are you in the film room watching film? That's kind of the time part, and the energy and depth part is like, okay, you're conditioning and stuff, but how hard are you conditioning? Are you going 100%, or are you kind of just like kind of half going at it, like 70%? And obviously the direction is like, what are you doing with it? Are you going out on weekdays and stuff and weekends partying, or like, are you, making sure you're hydrated, eating right, getting your body right? Are you doing those types of things? So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, no, you guys got a master class, and I know it didn't end the way you guys wanted it, but I'm sure you took a lot of gems from that experience and ready to kick off at Cal. On to our next topic, you guys, and it looks like we got one skipped there, unfortunately, but we're going to talk about it anyway. The odds of your coach staying, the odds of your coach staying. We recently had Chip Kelly leave UCLA. A lot of people were shocked by that. A head coach leaving for another Power 5 OC job. We had the coach from Boston College say, hey, I'm going to the NFL to be an OC late, or a DC, excuse me. Talk to me, Q. We'll start off with you. I know you've experienced coaching changes. What are the odds today, man? Whether it's a coach getting fired or a coach saying, hey, I'm going to greener pastures. What are the odds that percentage-wise of a kid starting at a school freshman year and ending with the same coach?
I would say, man, it's 90% likely. It's highly likely. We're in an era of pure bag chasing. So it's one of those things where it's every man for himself. And that's why as a player, as a young player, it's so important to have a good support system behind you, because there's minimal loyalty, whether it's the coach to the university, whether, the coach to you. So you have to make sure that you're putting yourself in the absolute best position. Now, there are some coaches out there that, if they do leave, and go to another university, it might be some kids, say from Chip Kelly's UCLA team, that might transfer as well, but they're going to be very small in numbers. But yeah, as far as coaches, I mean, man, if they're getting the right check 9 times out of 10, they're out of here, man. It's going to be every man for himself, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. That's just the era that we live in. So protect yourself and make sure that you're on the right track to be successful for your damn self.
And Cole, there's the other side where the athletes have more leeway now to leave, like you did too. So obviously you've got friends playing across the country. What do you think the percentage, if you've got a younger brother that one day may play college football, what's the percentage of your younger brother having one head coach his whole college career?
It's pretty low, I would have to say. I mean, me personally, I've played 2 seasons of college football, and I've had 4 head coaches so far.
Wow!
So I started with one at Colorado, then I had an interim, and then Prime, and then now I'm on my 4th one.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
So that's, I mean, they were great coaches too and phenomenal, but it's not up to them always. There's people hired up, and if if you don't have a good season, or if it's not to those higher people's, if it's not to their expectation, I mean, they're probably most likely going to be gone.
Good point. Good point. And that's for the kids too, because a lot of it is pretty much like a 1-year contract.
It is
even for the athletes too. Tell me about how you feel like you've been received at Cal. Has that been a pleasant experience so far?
Oh, it's been great. I love it so far. It's awesome. Yeah, everyone there, tight ends, quarterbacks, the defensive guys, the whole team. They're great. Really friendly. Like immediately, I felt it was great. Like just joining that team.
That's good. Like I said, put yourself in the best position, man. Get you some snaps. Make you some plays. I mean, yeah, man, that's what you go. It's like you were saying before, man. Like you go to school to be out on the field, So you want to go where you can play, And sometimes, I think that's kind of where Alabama got into this situation where you might be a great player, but you're sitting on the bench for 3 years in order to really get some snaps. And I'm glad that everything is kind of opened up and it's more even keeled where, you just go where you get in where you fit in so you can play, man. These kids want to play.
Exactly.
So, definitely.
And
and he's got 3 years to go, so it's super bright future. I see the Munoz family coming in from San Antonio, Texas. They've got a superstar, Marco, in their house. Thank you for joining us. S. Marcus says, "Hey, Coach, love watching the show. We love you too, baby. So thank you for coming on in with us. We are on, you guys, to our next topic, and this is something we were just talking about, the Super Bowl, and now you got to start kind of looking at the Mahomes-Reed duo a little bit different. I mean, I know you've got the Brady and Belichick. I know you've got the Montana and Bill Walsh, but these guys are quickly striking up on everybody's heel. So let me start with you, Q. I mean, is Andy Reid and Mahomes the new gold standard? When we look back maybe 10 years from now, are they the ones to catch?
I mean, we'll see. Sometimes only time will tell. Again, they've had a lot of success early on. And I'm sure that, Mahomes is looking to have a long career. Lord knows they paid him a ton of money, but only time will tell, Coach. Really. I mean, Andy Reid's had some great quarterbacks. He's had Donovan McNabb. He's had some great quarterbacks and not, quite been able to get it done. So I do feel like in a lot of ways that Mahomes might be the deciding factor why Andy Reid is seeing, the success that he has. Taking nothing away from him, he's a good coach. But
is that the same with Belichick and Walsh?
Well, I mean, Belichick, here's the thing about it.
Is it the chicken and egg thing?
Yeah, kind of. But I mean, Belichick, let's be honest, since when Brady left the Patriots, Belichick's wins weren't what they were. I think that's pretty obvious, Belichick wasn't seeing the same success at all. So, it would be interesting to see, because I know a lot of people were like, well, hey, when Tyreek left and him being such an integral part of that offense, were they going to struggle? Obviously, they've answered.
And they did briefly.
They did briefly, but they found a way. They found a way. So I really do think Andy Reid's a great coach, but the deciding factor, is going to be Mahomes, man. He is, for this era, he's special. I wouldn't put him in the category of Brady yet, but he's definitely special as a player for sure.
Talk to me a little bit. You're a receiver. You're on the offensive side, Cole. When it's all said and done, is Reid and Mahomes the gold standard?
I don't know. Right now, I feel like they're getting up there. The fact that they're being compared to Belichick and Brady, like the fact that they're not there yet by no means, but obviously, but they're being
three to seven.
Being held to that standard that says something this early on in the process in his career. I mean, he has so much time left. Like, it's hard not to say,
Yeah. I think the thing is, Coach,
you playing with one day.
Yeah, the thing is, Coach, and I gotta be honest, it's the great ones make the game look easy. And it's almost like how I used to watch Jordan. I know some of you all are too young and just hip to the shoes and the clothes, but those of us of our age group that actually got to watch WGN and watch Jordan, one thing about Jordan in the midst of how great he was, he somehow controlled the tempo of the game. And Mahomes does that. It's like when he wants to take over the game and he starts controlling the tempo of the game, that's a wrap. Coach, that's what I was telling you when we saw that clip and we were talking about in the overtime when San Francisco, we were like, why would San Francisco receive the ball? Instead of vice versa, but they knew if we can get a stop, it's over because of how Mahomes has this consistency with taking over big games like that.
Yeah, definitely has that Brady feel when he got that ball back.
And he does, man.
That's something. It's going to be interesting. 6, Belichick and Brady, and then Brady has 7 by himself. But Reed didn't have one before Mahomes. Now he's got 3 quick. So it's going to be interesting to see if they catch up. We're on to our next topic, you guys. And this one definitely caught my attention and something we should talk about. Athletes with firearms, you guys. Athletes with firearms. We love to talk about real-time topics that affect you guys. But Clemson's DeMonte Capehart charged with unlawful possession of a firearm. I guess he was on campus and he didn't have a permit for this gun. So I want to ask you guys, and I think he has, it says he's been suspended from team activities, and hopefully they figure that out. But let's start with you, Cole. Have you ever at Cal or at Colorado felt like you needed to have a firearm? Do you know other players that feel like they need to have a firearm?
No, definitely not. Both teams, they've been great environments with just players and coaches and the security that's been around. I felt very safe. So definitely no need for a firearm. Yeah.
Good. And do you think that players should be suspended or should be able to have a firearm, or what's your opinion?
I don't think firearms and football should really coincide. Two separate things. I would have to say that. I don't think it is. I don't think it's necessary. I'll say that. Yeah.
Talk to me, Q. I mean, obviously we were student athletes too. I don't know if any guys at KU had a firearm. I know some guys like to go hunting, so they may be a little more versed with guns. But do you think players in college, Q, should be able to have a firearm if they want? Do you think kind of the two shouldn't go together? What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I really don't think that what do you need a firearm for? Well, here's the thing, especially if you're on the football team. Like, think about this in this sense. You're on the football team, at universities the size that all of us have gone to. Man, the football team, you're the biggest, baddest dudes on the whole campus. And you need a firearm? Like, what do you need a fire? The only thing you should be shooting is your shot on campus. That's about it. So it's like it's not needed. And these kids got to understand, man, you could lose, your scholarship and a lot more by just having it in possession. It's no need. Like you said, T, that's great if you go hunting. I know a ton of guys that went to University of Wisconsin and Michigan and got some good hunting, but guess what? They went home and did that, or it's specific places that they did that. But on campus, like it's no reason for it, man. You asking for trouble.
Good point right there. So any of you student athletes thinking about purchasing a firearm for whatever reason, be mindful of this story and this young man who's now not on the team anymore. And who knows if he does get back on. Coach Foss says First Amendment is protected by the Second Amendment. Yep, there you go. So you guys keep that in mind, you young student athletes. Like you said, you're there to play ball. You should have plenty of people around you that can protect you. All right, you guys, we are on to our next topic, and we're breezing through tonight's show. Once again, the great Cole Boscia. You guys check him out this fall. playing for Cal Berkeley, and they need some help. They need some help at wide receiver. I've been watching them, so glad that Cole is going to help them out. But you guys, we are on to the lightning round, and I am so excited. Bit, so I think we got a pretty good list. But if you're joining us for the first time, the lightning round is a fan favorite portion of the show. It's our version of 60-second word association. So Cole has 60 seconds, and he's pretty quick on his toes. He's used to 2-minute drills, but I've got my list of people and things I want to ask him, and he's going to give us, you guys, the first thing that comes to his head. The first thing that comes to his head. So are you ready to roll, Playmaker?
Let's do it.
All right. So get my stopwatch ready. And once again, you guys, we're at zeros. I'm not cheating anybody. He's got 60 seconds and to go through our list. Now, Cole, we don't just do this for fun, man. We actually got a little wager on it. So,
and I'm saying the first thing, like first word that comes to mind, right? Just to clarify.
If you're smart, you keep it to one word. If you're smart, you keep it to one word. Some people elaborate and they eliminate themselves. So, with that being said, we got some wagers on this. So, the number's 15. If you can get to 15 or higher, then it's a lunch on Coach Wood. It's a lunch on Coach Wood in the show. And you're right in the Bay Area, so I can get to you, baby. We're probably going to do that anyway. But 15. 15's the number. Now, you guys, he's got one extra for tech delay. So even if he gets to 14, he's in the running. All right.
Here we go.
So let's get going. He's at zeros. And once again, this is the lightning round. All right. So let's get started. First thing that comes to your mind, Cole. Number 1, Monta Vista High School. Go.
Rocco Shram.
Favorite chips?
Doritos.
Debo Samuel or Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp.
Shador Sanders.
2.
Kanye West or Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne.
Best you ever played against?
TCU.
Rolls Royce or Bugatti?
Bugatti.
Favorite superhero? He's rolling.
Batman.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Ohio State.
Loudest stadium you've ever played in?
Oregon Ducks.
Pizza or burrito?
Pizza.
Jake Hayner.
Monta Vista.
55 seconds. Favorite Bay Area restaurant?
Subway.
Bungee jump or sky jump? Or skydive?
Skydive. Come on.
Time.
You might have got that. He was rolling.
He was rolling. He was going right there.
Hey, he had got that, man.
That's the tracking. I'm right there. So let's go through this. We're going to count them up as usual in the locker room. Then we're going to ask him some specifics. So let's count them up. He's got Monta Vista. That's his old high school. That's a hack. Anybody on the show, you know I'm coming with your school. So he's got Monta Vista. That's his old school. And he said Rocco, his teammate. So he's getting some points there. He's going favorite chips, Doritos. We don't know the flavor, but Doritos. He's going Cooper Kupp with number 3. Number 4, he's going his old teammate. Number 2, Shador. Number 5, he's going with the Lil Wayne. Number 6, he said TCU, which is a team. But and this is fine, but I wanted to know player. What's the best player you've ever played against?
Oh, I thought you said team. Best player, okay. Travis Hunter. Teammate right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's going with the Bugatti, you guys, over the Rolls Royce. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 with the Batman. We got 9, Marvin Harrison Jr. We got 10, Loudest Stadium. We've got 11, Pizza. We've got 12 with his old high school teammate, Jake Hayner. We've got 13 with favorite Bay Area restaurant. And we've got 14, you guys, with the skydive.
Oh, he got
skydive. So with the tech delay, he's at 15. So he's tied. I forgot who he tied with, but he's tied with our leader. So we've got to look it up. We got to have a duel off. But we're definitely bringing you back to have one more round of the lightning round.
Definitely.
So great job. Great job. That's the Cal Bear right there. Of course, he was on it, but let's revisit. Let's revisit a couple of these. Now, you say you're going with the Cooper Cup over the Debo, huh? That might throw some Bay Area people off. What do you like about Cooper over Debo?
Cooper's like he's a pretty similar build to me, and he's a route runner. I think he's great releases, great routes. I just love what he's doing and stuff. Debo's more of like he's just like sliding and stuff, running. He's in the backfield. I feel like I could compare myself more to a Cooper.
Great. And then he's going with obviously the Little Wayne. But he said when we asked best player you've ever played against, and Cole's played against a lot of great players in the Bay Area and then of course in college, he's going with his old teammate Travis Hunter. What made Travis so special?
I would say, he was pretty fast, obviously. There were a lot of more fast guys, but probably his body control. Control, that's more as a receiver, but like going against him when he was at DB, he could just move really like laterally, really clean, and his instincts as well. I'd be running like an in-breaker dig, and I'm running full speed. Like I'm going vertical, like I'm running a go.
Like selling it, yeah.
Got to snap and break in, and he just knows what's up sometimes. He knows the concept or what. So it's hard going. It was tough going against him.
Yeah.
There you go. And probably going to be a high round draft pick. And then, of course, he said the loudest stadium was Oregon this year. That was pretty loud.
Yeah, they were. They had a lot of chants and stuff. It was like crowd.
They were ready for you guys.
Crowd was super into it, and I know their stadiums, like the architecture is built where the sound like echoes into the field and stuff. So it was really loud.
There you go. Great. We got a lot of people coming on in the chat. Over under is 7. George was giving you 7 for you. So you blasted that. He went to 14, you guys. And then Jimmy Rucker, he's haunting me with the Michael Bishop. Michael Bishop wasn't too happy with me. We know that Jimmy. And then Jimmy says go get that money. So hey, that was a blast right there with the great Cole. And then of course we got to bring him back on so we can have a dual off at the end of the spring, you guys. But we're on to our last portion of the show, having a great time with this superstar. If you guys are just joining us, please run this back, especially you student athletes, because this is a man that has played at some of the best universities out there. He's been coached by some of the best. He went through the Dion phenomenon, and now he's about to rip it up with 3 years to go at Cal. So please root him on and follow Cole. Now, to our audience question, if you do have a question and you're currently live with us, our comment section is open. So if you have a question or a comment for Cole, please put that in the comment section now. But Q, I know you've got something for our superstar.
Definitely. So Cole, I just kind of wanted your opinion on the NIL situation, man. Obviously, we've seen, a lot going on. Utah buying the whole squad pickup trucks. Yeah. I think Quinn Ewers got a burnt orange Aston Martin, all kinds of crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. You being a player now in this era, is there limits on it, man? Like where do we go? What's the parameters? Is it? Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, man, I don't want to say too much. I don't know if I'm like supposed to.
No, bro, you keep it all the way raw here, bro.
But no, like some of the stuff going on out in Colorado is pretty crazy. Just like on top of free education and NIL, like just some of that. They were just getting a lot of money, basically. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
That's real. That's real.
And then NIL. They could use it as leverage, against coaches and stuff. They have a really good season. They could kind of just hold them like as a hostage. Be like, hey, if I don't get more money, basically, I'm out of here.
I'm out. Yeah, it's like the league.
Kids are doing that.
Yeah, and it's real money. Like it's serious. Like life-changing money. So it's crazy.
Wow.
And do you guys, that was a great question, Q. Do you guys have a feeling as players of what your market value is, or is everybody kind of guessing a little bit?
It's hard to say. There's like charts and stuff on you see like charts of NIL player value and stuff and whatnot, but it's not a definitive number. That's a like projection. But obviously players are getting like certain actual deposits of money, and then there's the NIL value, which is something separate.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
so yeah, it's hard to base off that, but yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
In your opinion, do you think players need to try to be more loyal? Or do you think players need to try to get as much as they can with the window?
I mean, it's a blessing.
It's an individual situation.
I mean, nothing beats free education. Like free education is a blessing. Like that alone, you're getting paid. You're getting a stipend and free money to go play football at a school. Like that in itself is a blessing. And then people are asking for all this like money on top of it. I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. Definitely not. But I mean, it's great that I think student athletes should get compensated for their brand and for their image and likeness for sure. Though I support that.
Yeah,
100%.
Definitely. And then your dad's coming in. He says Subway equals NIL. We need some NIL action for this young man. So
cold cuts, boy. You better get it right.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna work on one of those local delis in Berkeley. Better be listening because you got a young superstar in the head. So hey, Cole. Man, I know you got things to do, and I know that you're working your way up the depth chart, but love you, man, and thank you so much for joining us tonight, and keep up the great work, okay?
Definitely. Yeah, always.
All
Thanks
right,
for having
you guys.
Awesome. For sure.
Yeah.
No doubt. So, hey, you guys, there is the great Cole Boscia. This is somebody that I've watched for a while now, even before having the chance to work with him, Q, and then got to work with him in high school. I wanted him in Colorado. He's listened to every single step. I mean, literally, we even talked about how he needed to navigate Dion coming in, because he was with the previous staff. He said 4 coaches, and he did it to a T, dude. Many times on Well Off Media, YouTube, you hear Coach Prime saying, hey, I like him, so Cole is gold, and I know they're going to rip it up at Cal. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Like I said, man, you just keep working, get him some snaps, man. You go out there and make some plays and make a name for yourself. Definitely, man. And he's shown his perseverance. So all thing now is this opportunity, and his hard work will get him that. So you love hearing stories like that, man. The kids that that started, man, and knew the amount of work that was out ahead of them, and just flat out getting it done, man.
Yeah, and it's just so interesting the times, man. He said it's real money. It's real.
Oh man, it's insane.
It's wild, man. I mean, your mom might be making, or your dad, 50, 60K or something, and you ball out this season, and now you got 200, 300, 400K on the table.
I mean, here's the funny part, because we talked about this all the time, off the air, and people really thought that comment from the Nebraska coach, they really thought that was a joke. Yeah, they thought that was a joke. He's dead serious. A good starting quarterback is going to cost you at minimum $1 million. At minimum. Wow. At minimum. And we're not talking about like a top 5, top 10 QB in the country. We're just talking about a solid
someone
starter,
get you through.
P1 starter. A meal.
Get you through. Yeah.
Get you through a meal.
So
you could be in Toledo. A meal.
You know what the door making. And some of these other DJ.
Man.
It's ridiculous.
Man, you talking 3-4.
We were in the wrong era, brother.
Hey, I'm telling you.
We like I said, the ramen era.
We still waiting for our EA Sports games. We still waiting for our video game checks. 98. Where's my money, man? Where's my money?
Think about how a Reggie Bush would have cashed out.
Oh man, it would have been, dude. It would have been.
You don't even have to go go pro for long.
Like you're talking about, Reggie Bush would have been clearing $15 million in a season, easy.
And worth it.
You got to think, and he's in the biggest market. You're in LA.
Texas with the
Oh
oil
my
money.
God,
Who
man.
Vince Young was at that time?
Man,
He was Superman.
dude. But even
After that national championship, they would have been trying to keep Vince in Texas.
oh, for sure.
And what do you think that would have cost?
20, 30 million at that time, which is about 60 million now. Easily, man. I mean, the money's insane. Yeah. Yeah. That's why now, like kids, and we say this all the time, kids to get an opportunity, man, and you're already balling in college. I'm in no rush to get to the league. I'm taking a pay cut.
All right. I
I
might be buying a house in the college town, bringing the family out. We gonna
going
eat.
from like LSU to the Jets. I'm taking a pay cut right now, coach. I'm
You
good.
know there's some NFL backup QBs and everything hot right now.
Oh, man, I'm telling
the
you.
great Jimmy Rucker right here is saying Loxley in Maryland, third string running back, asking for 100K.
And he'll get it. If not there, he'll get it somewhere else. I'm telling you. Man, he'll transfer to Ball State and get 200K real quick. Seriously.
They will. Yeah. I mean, what especially if my family is struggling, I could care less about an Ohio State Buckeye on the back of my helmet. If you've got a bag, then I don't care what your team name is.
Man, I wouldn't, man. You'll play for Tulsa. It doesn't matter. Whatever. It's about, man, I'm telling you. But the
injury away. You a knee injury away, or you a transfer portal person coming in away from being done.
Man, you got to get.
So I can't blame the kids if there's no loyalty. It's what they've been taught.
I mean, and coach, think about it. Like you said, because of the transfer portal and coaches, leaving out and going to get their opportunity. As a player, you got to wring and twist every single dollar out of every single season. Because essentially, like we said, you're on this isn't a 4-year scholarship. Back they're like, oh man, I got a 4. Man, like now it's 1 year renewable contract. Like you're in the league. So you got to ring and twist.
Because there's 3 high probabilities of something that is high probability coach may leave for something better. It's high probability coach could get fired, and it's a high probability I may want to jump in the portal. So most likely you're in my home today, class of 2024. Listen up. They're in your home today, saying that they're the father away from home, and you're saying I love your team. But you guys are just talking today. You're just talking today.
That's it.
Things could change.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, boy, you get about week 8, week 9. All of a sudden, and man, where coach go, man? Well, this is your new intern. Intern? What? And it's just like that. It's just like it's that fast.
Wow.
That's one thing that, man, I still try to process and wrap my mind around. Is how quickly everyone is moving around, man. I mean, again, we say this too. Man, you'll be a freshman and you'll look around, man, whether you transfer or not, and not even know any of your teammates, no matter where you are. Whether you're hitting the portal yourself, or even if you stay put where you're at.
The great Coach Foss, his son is at Nicholls State, but started at Southern Illinois. They played each other in the playoffs this year. He said that, and he's only a year and a half, 2 years removed from Southern Illinois. He said that he started walking across the field after the game, barely knew anybody.
Didn't know anybody.
Barely knew anybody.
I'm telling you, man.
Now, if that was in our era, you would know the whole team.
Absolutely. You rarely see transfers out. Rarely.
I could, and then here's the other dynamic. I didn't even think about that until just right now. But for years after leaving Colorado, maybe 2 or 3 years after, maybe 4, I still knew the kids on the team still.
The freshmen, yeah.
Now, man, if I leave Florida State this year, I may cut on the tube next year and barely
not know
anybody.
You won't know anybody hardly. You won't know anybody. Yeah, man.
Wow.
This is 1 year renewable contract. I mean, right? The best example we can use right now is DJ. DJ has gotten multiple bags, and I mean, but he's putting himself.
Multiple
Hey,
bags.
kudos to him. Kudos to
Hey,
Big Dave.
Wagyu.
Hey, man, Wagyu. They are getting themselves in the best possible position, man. You do what you got to do. It's
he doesn't have to go pro or have a big contract in the pros. He's made money.
Listen, you can come out of college and go 5th round and be happy. I already got 10 million. Man, I got 10 mil in the bank. Whatever.
Wow.
You want to cut me? Cool. Whatever.
So tell me this. Does this because I know you, I know me, we were all eggs in one basket. It was like the league, you know what if you can go, you know. Does this make it where maybe guys aren't as set on, maybe they don't care as much about football, you know, because I don't have to have a long career, you know.
Man, yeah. I mean, coach,
does today athlete not need the NFL as much?
They don't. It's evident. I mean, think about it, man. You have a lot of kids, you know, whether it's 2-parent or single parents, but especially single parent homes, you know, you might be coming from an impoverished background. If I'm getting my bag while I'm still in school, it's no rush to go to the league. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm already paid. Like Cole said.
Because that was all we thought about.
Yeah,
that's all I thought about.
Absolutely. So it's like
it's either girls or the NFL.
Yeah.
That was all I was thinking about.
Right. So it's like if you already got the bread, man, it's not essential anymore, man. Boys are taking their time. Like Bo Nix, I done sucked up a couple of mil. I'll go to the league 25, 26, do a couple of years and I'm out.
Let me ask you this. Is the NFL and an NIL bag correlated? So what I mean by that is I'm Quincy Rowe, I'm at Kansas, and I'm balling at Kansas. I can go on a portal and I can go to Cincinnati and get a bag because my boy plays at Cincinnati. I know they need another corner and he got paid. But is going to get a bag somewhere correlated to that being the best spot for me to go to the NFL? Do you think those two things are the same? Or do you think kids are in situations where maybe they're not setting themselves up as good for the NFL, but they're setting themselves up for the right now money? Does that make sense?
Oh man, it makes perfect sense. And the answer is easy. It's everything is now. That we live in a right now world. Everything you could possibly name is right now, whether it's shopping in Walmart and self-checkout and being able to scan all over the store is right now. Everything is right now. So like do
you think a kid is sitting there and they're like, do you think they're like, ooh, bag, I'm taking it, and not even factoring in how that move could affect their draft status? Man, and if that's a better, like, let's say I'm a wide receiver, and let's say, hey, I'm at Ohio State, like J-Mo, and now I can go to Missouri and get a bag, but Missouri's not passing as much. I'll be one of their stars, but they're not passing as much, but the bag is there. Right. Do you think that some of them are just thinking about you're saying they're thinking about now. They're not worried necessarily about the next.
Man, I feel like this. The bag is first and foremost, but I feel like that, kids, if at all possible, when they make a move, it's gonna be, how can I say, either they're gonna move laterally, maybe a step back, but not 2 steps back. So I wouldn't say.
So if you're Q Rowe at Kansas and you got 6 picks. And obviously, Kansas, you try to get you a couple dollars. DB coach loves you, recruited you. You already know you got the starting spot on lock. It may be better to just stay there and take a little less because I'm better suited here for the league. But you're saying that some of them may be saying, forget my standing here. It's a bigger bag over there.
Yeah. Well, coach, what did you just say though? Man, it's football, man. You a snap away. You always a snap away. So everything has got to be now. It's got to be now. That's just the nature of the game.
Money
As
talk.
Alex Smith, it's the nature of the game, man. We play other than maybe hockey or boxing as far as a team sport. Then I guess except for maybe hockey or rugby, I guess. But it's like we play the most violent team sport in the world. Like it's inevitable, man. It's inevitable. So you have to get
So
everything.
you would have been okay taking that Kansas sticker off your helmet and putting a Missouri Tiger sticker on your helmet if Missouri had 80K.
Look, let me tell you what, man. Well, they had to come with more than that, coach. But but it's
But you would have been okay. Or UCLA sticker.
If I saw fit, and it was a good fit for me to be able to carry on my career, and I would still be looking at it like I still would want to go somewhere where I'm still gonna be getting my proper look, program wise, add an opportunity to the league and the bag.
Maybe you're going group of Power 5 to Group of 5.
Right, which that's what I'm saying. You want to move laterally, like Jameson went from Ohio State to Alabama.
Okay.
He didn't go from Ohio State to
Colorado State.
Right, to UTEP. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So it's like you're not gonna get you want to move where you're trying to move laterally, right? Or laterally or up and still get the bag. That's the ideal move. That's the ideal move. Like the kid that went from Pitt to
Addison.
Yes, that's the type of moves you want to make. You either want to move up to an even more prominent program, or you want to move laterally. I'll go from maybe Clemson and Notre Dame. That's lateral, and I'm still getting the bag.
So you're saying if I got to go down a level, don't take the bag.
Basically,
yeah.
Okay. Or it better be a
super one,
hell of a bag. But right, but otherwise, you want to you want to ideally move laterally program wise, and if you can get a nice chunk of money out of it, then so be it, man. I mean, it's get it how you live, man. Kudos to these kids. I'm telling you.
Okay. So nothing wrong with what DJ U's doing,
man.
From Q the Guru.
DJ, God bless that boy. He's getting it, man. That boy, he getting the Brinks truck.
Yeah. Well, Clemson probably paid him to go there in the first place.
He got a bag from Clemson. He's got a bag everywhere he's gone. Because look, if Clemson paid him, then Oregon State had to pay him more than Clemson did.
And
think about it. I'm Oregon State Power 5, but not Clemson Power 5, and I'm getting their starting QB. Well, if the Nebraska coach said $1 million, and you coming from Clemson, that compounds that that's like compound interest. So they paid more than $1 million to get him from Clemson to Oregon.
They paying freight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, hey, travel around, DJ. We love your dad, man.
Hey, I'm
but
telling
you guys, crazy times in college sports, football in particular. Football is the horse that brings the cart, you guys. So whether you are an athlete, whether you are a parent of an athlete, whether you are a coach, you better be up. You better be up for everything that's going on, and keep your ear to the ground so you guys can make the most of your opportunity. But that is it for tonight's Locker Room Show. Enjoy, Cole. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of tonight's show. I know you did. And also keep in mind, you guys, once again, we are not just here for kicks. We are actually someone that is a practitioner. We help kids across the country. The signing period was last week. If you don't have anything now, then you should definitely check us out. If you're in the class of 2024, we got superstars. Here's a few of them across the country that are getting great looks, going to big time schools, just like Cole, you guys. This is Coach Foss, Coach Jay. Help me out getting kids to schools across the country. And then also, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're getting closer to 1,000, so help kick us over 1,000. So YouTube, keep pushing us out to more people that need this knowledge, you guys, that need this service, that need to hear what is going on in the industry. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us. I see a comment coming through. The great Jimmy Rucker says the football conversation has intensified. Yes, it does. And I know you got one coming up in your house too. So keep on rocking with us, Jimmy, and bring some friends next time. Q, anything for the good people before we get out of here, brother?
Hey, man. Hey, this is quick as the Super Bowl's over. We right back to the off season. It's right back to work, man. Don't nothing stop in this industry. Hey, and I tell you what, buckle up. We got some solid guests coming in. So like Coach said, make sure and hit that button. Tune in. Tell your family, friends, come check us out. But we got some solid, awesome guests coming in here the next couple of weeks.
Yes, indeed. It's the off season, so all our people are opening up, whether NFL, XFL. Well, XFL is getting started, but pro athletes, our college coaches. You just seen a player come in tonight, so everybody's open now. We got some great people lined up for you guys. So, hey, please bring a friend next week. Please like and share and subscribe. And this is Coach Wood signing off for the Locker Room Show. That's Q, the Guru, and we will see you guys next week. Have a good